Hello everyone, and welcome to Chapter 18 over Reptiles and Amphibians. We are close to being done our book, but that makes sense because it's nearing the end of April, and we only have May left. So we should get through one more test before we're done, and it's going to be over Chapters 18 and 19. Chapter 18 is over Reptiles and Amphibians. And we're going to start on 18.1 today over reptiles, creeping vertebrates. It is not going to be all that of a mentally taxing chapter, as animals really wasn't either. But we're going to take a pretty thorough overview. Just like normal, make sure you're getting your section of views in. That's how I take a homework grade. And I hope you're enjoying your time, and I hope that you're actually learning something. It does concern me that during this time we may not look at these video lessons as our education, but they are supposed to be helping you learn. So anyway, let's talk about reptiles. And I'm going to move myself somewhere where it doesn't interfere with the notes. Oops, there it is. Reptile is a word that comes from Latin, meaning to creep, repere, and reptiles, of course, creep along the ground, and they have many characteristics. For instance, they are cold-blooded or exothermic, and they regulate their temperature by external factors. Meaning if they're cold, they have to lie in the sun to get warm. If they're too warm, they have to lie in the shade. If they don't, they die. And that separates them from us. We do not have to lie out in the sun when we get cold. Our bodies keep us warm unless it gets really, really cold and our bodies can't keep up with warming us. Animals whose body temperature fluctuates, it changes. They're known as poikilotherms, a fluctuating temperature. So it would not be abnormal for you to take a reptile's temperature and for it to be 85 degrees. If we took your temperature and you were 85 degrees, you'd be dead. That wouldn't be good, right? Similarities among reptiles. Although they vary greatly in shape, size, and color, they share the same characteristics. They have a vertebral column. They are cold-blooded. They have dry, tough skins covered in scales. And they have a three-chambered heart. Now, in humans, we have a four-chambered heart. We have two atria and two ventricles. Now, in most reptiles, amphibians, and the like, they have a three-chambered heart. Take a look at this picture. They have two atria and one ventricle. The ventricle combines oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now, that's not a very efficient means of distributing blood. You have deoxygenated blood coming from the body, which loops back around to the pulmonary arteries, which go to the lungs, which get oxygenated, and by the time oxygen gets back to the heart, it kind of gets passed into this ventricle, whereby it goes back to the body only partially oxygenated. Not very efficient. Turtles, some reptiles, have actually a 3.5-chambered heart, and that's strange, where they have a septum that doesn't exactly connect all the way, so that most of the blood that is coming from the body gets taken back to the lungs, and most of the blood that comes from the lungs gets put back into the body, but not all of it. Aren't we fortunate to have a four-chambered heart? This also kind of defies evolution, because the evolution of a heart and such complexity, that's hard to think that it would arrive on its own. And any piece of the heart that would suddenly form like a fourth chamber would be initially pretty useless, right? if we just randomly had a fifth chamber in our heart, it would not be such a good thing. Anyway, many reptiles are ovoviviparous. What do these prefixes mean? Ovo means egg, vivi means live, parus means birth. Egg, live, birth. What does that mean? It means that these reptiles are born live, but the eggs hatch inside the mother reptile. Isn't that strange? So they're technically born in an egg, inside, the eggs hatch inside, and they're born live. So it looks like they're viviparous, but they're actually ovoviviparous. They do come from an egg. They're kind of both. Lizards are the most numerous reptile. They are elongated, four-legged reptiles with a tapered tail. Lizards typically live in tropical regions in various biomes. So you can see a lizard off to the right there. Unique lizard. Here's some lizard identification for you that you're going to have to do on the test. The Haragra saphiro. Now, I'm not pronouncing that as uniquely South American as some may, because it is a South American lizard. It is the smallest. You can see that it's quite tiny. Now, it's of course a baby lizard, but it does have a Spanish accent to it. The Komodo dragon is the largest, as you can see. That Komodo dragon is capturing a goat, biting its head, crushing it between its fangs. It's a large lizard, and they're said to move quite quickly. Very cool. You should look up some pictures sometime. Here's some more lizards, unique lizards. The Gila monster is very dangerous. It's found in southwest United States in areas like Arizona, Texas, some parts of California. It has a very poisonous venom which causes blood cells to clot. And here's a good picture for you. There you go. Hey, does it show the picture? Gila monster venom on blood. Well, thanks. It's not giving me a good picture. Well, anyways, what it does is it causes the blood to clump together and to agglutinate, and so it clumps and it causes this massive clot in the blood. And so when the clot moves around your body, it moves to your heart and can kill you. And it's not very good. And so the Gila monster venom, of course, is something you need to stay away from. I experimented on them in college. I was part of a cancer research team that experimented on Gila monster venom. It was very cool. May have told you that before, of course. But we discovered that Gila monster venom kills cancer. It also kills everything else, so that's kind of interesting. Chameleons are color changing. They have chromatophores, which allow the color to adjust to what is in the background. They have a unique tongue, of course, a very unique color as well. And the last slide, some unique lizard. Frilled lizard hisses, frills its part of its face out to make it appear larger and scarier than it actually is. The horned lizard squirts blood out of its eye. And so there's some pretty cool videos of this. I like the one by National Geographic. You have this predator here, and here's woo! And here's the horned lizard. Let's see it squirt blood.
But this raider hunts by smell.
Alright.
Pumping itself up, the lizard literally flips out.
Ooh! Come on, shoot blood out of your eyes or something.
It's all in the eyes.
Oh. That's incredible. So, anyway, it kind of makes me squeamish, but what can you do? So anyway, hopefully you learned a couple things about unique lizards. Make sure you do section review 18.1. We'll continue on tomorrow. I'll see you guys later.